First question. Canyon County is one of the largest seed growing regions in the world due to its unique soil and climate. Seed is a matter of national security. What would you do to protect Canyon County's seed growing region? The second question. As long as I can remember, county commissioners ran on a platform of saving ag. To the contrary, city councils often receive annexations of ag ground for development. What would you do in your position to stop this? And I can repeat anything you need, because I know that's a lot.
No, it is a lot. I'm sorry, I'm getting a cramp in my leg. Okay, so I think I'm going to turn these questions around. First of all, Canyon County is responsible for what they allow to annex and not annex. And we have laws and we have regulations within Idaho Code 67 that give us the latitude and the freedom to not only make those decisions, but also to use our comprehensive plan in making those decisions and using other resources we have available, such as modeling that we have from organizations such as the American the American Farm Trust. The Farm Trust has created some beautiful overlays and some models. They have done it with some citizens, like myself, and worked with the county, but the county seems to sometimes ignore those things. I think the county needs to look at taking our agriculture seriously. As somebody in that question said, our seed industry, as well as our agriculture industry, is necessary not only for food security, but for our economic stability in the region. And that has to be protected, and I will do everything to protect agriculture within the agricultural areas of our county.
Thank you. As a young girl growing up and having a family that thrived on a business, I was always told that if the farmers don't do well, we're not going to do well. And I grew up on Wagner Road across the street from a farm, and where I live, out behind my house, there's a farm. So I do strongly support preserving our farms. We have some corporations in our county that have been in existence and I would use Crookham Seed as one. As a young girl, I used to ride my bike by some of their facilities. It's kind of fun. I think it's important. As far as annexing goes, I believe there has to be some good partnerships in there with all entities, and that we work together to preserve the agricultural fill that Canyon County has.
Thank you for the question. I'm actually in ag. My husband retired out of Simplot Grower Solution, and we've spent a lifetime, all of our married life, row crop farming or on a dairy operation. So one of the things I think that it's important when we say preserve, you have to also speak from the farmer's perspective. I have had farmers, including our own family, when you get perhaps to the end of that, when you don't have a succession plan in farming, or you have health issues that happen, the farmer has to be consulted. I can tell you that for the urban renewal area that happened on the east portion, the farm ground that was contained therein, it was a voluntary. That's what the legislation is talking about too. There's nothing that's not voluntary about it. If you look at the Midstar process and the annexation that took place, a denial on the part of the county or a non-acceptance of either city to agree to the plan that's laid out triggers potentially litigation. The city of Middleton spent more than $1 million in taxpayer dollars fighting that. So to make blanket statements without understanding the process is uninformed. So when a city proposes growth, that means that they've planned for that, and to work in tandem with the county to say this is where planned growth should take place. They have a right under Idaho state statute to do that. It is a working partnership. And so let's be clear about what we're talking about.
We need to change the order of who answers here. A lot of that question is very charged, right? Commissioners do tend to run on the ag preservation. That's pretty hyper right now. at the same time, let's look at it from the comprehensive plan aspect, the newest one that is affecting the county. It's a swing back the other direction to where the previous comp plan was viewed as not as supportive or protective of ag, and now it's gone completely the other direction to where it's almost a level of takings from property rights. That balance needs to be struck better, because there's a significant number of farmers, almost to the allotment of about 19,000 acres in this county, that didn't support the comp plan because they understand that's their long-term savings. And if they need to be able to sell some ground to develop it, for somebody else to develop it, they need to have that ability to do so.
Travis, can I don't want to butt in, but I do want to, in support perhaps of what one of the opponents, but we protected ag ground next to the alders in Melba. That was seed ground, and we turned a development down. We also protected Vandenberg Dairy's right to farm around there by denying that. So,
So I appreciate that. We will, I want to save additional comments for afterward for those that are able to stay, and just in an effort to keep it fair to
Thank you.
all
Pardon me.
parties. So, thank you.
Yeah, my dad worked for Pioneer Seed and retired from over there, and he depended on his income and his ability to thrive there. And so as I look at these kinds of issues, clearly there has to be a balance. But once the land's gone for something else, it's gone, and we can't go back out and grab land that has been taken away. So it does have to be a very strategic positioning to try and do that appropriately. What I think is that we need more input from all the affected parties, and we need to do that proactively. I know we have a comprehensive plan, but how much of that information came from the agricultural community? How much information came from the building community? How much came from citizens who are impacted by the ability to have property and own it and develop it as they would like? My preference would be to have more community meetings. Commissioner is a full-time job, so let's dedicate more time to hearing from the business people in the community, the citizens, and the agricultural people to do it right.